G'day guys, Lemon Eating Cow here, and today I'm back playing Final Fantasy 15, and I have a quick and nasty exploit guide for you on the Pitioss Dungeon. Now this will let you warp strike inside the dungeon, trivializing some of the harder jumps in here. And this can be a massive time saver. You could actually end up finishing, well, getting the Black Hood in this dungeon in a matter of minutes. Now because it is an exploit or a glitch, I highly recommend that you make an extra save spot just for this, just in case anything messes up with your game. Now, I can't take all credit for this. This idea or inspiration for this video came from a user named microkarl on YouTube that commented on one of my videos, and I'm purely just turning his text into a video, really. So, the exploit works by kind of tricking out the party system. Usually when you come in to the Pitioss Dungeon, you drop your party and you go in solo. But we're going to play around with that a little bit and hopefully get it to give us the warp strike ability in the dungeon. So when you do this dungeon normally, you'll hit the bars there and you'll get a message up in the top left saying your party is left. And at that point, usually you just enter the dungeon as normal, but we're not going to do that. See in the top left, we got left party there. What we're going to do is make the party rejoin, and then before that join message goes away, we're going to go past that left party point, I guess, and hopefully we can trick the game into thinking that we kind of still have a party and we're not quite in the dungeon. So the way that works is just crossing the threshold there. That little ledge there is where the party will join back up with you. So you just want to jump out a little bit and get the party to join, and then run back as fast as you can and warp strike into the dungeon, or at least to the left party break point, I guess, or where those bars were. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So you just want to jump a little bit out there so that you just go past that threshold, but then you land back on the platform. Can be a bit tricky to do. There you go, we got it. And then you're going to run back here, jump in, and then warp strike past that point. Now, if you've done it correctly, you should be able to lower yourself down into the dungeon. And everything looks normal at the moment, but usually you can't save in a dungeon. But because we've done that little exploit, we now have the option to save in the dungeon. So what you're going to need to do is save your game. Again, please make sure that this isn't your main save file and it's just a backup one. Once you've saved your game, just reload it and the exploit should hopefully work. So once you've loaded in your game, if the glitch has worked, you will see that you can now warp strike, which is going to pretty much trivialize a lot of the big jumps in this dungeon. Now, some really important things to note is that the spike walls have stopped moving now. I am unsure of what extent this affects the dungeon. Maybe there's a few items that are going to be locked off from you. I am unsure, but please back up your save file just in case it blocks off any items that you may require. But for the purpose of the Black Hood, it's not going to affect it. Also to note, I've already done this dungeon. I couldn't get a clean save file of it. It's just too far away. So we're using my completed save file. So there'll be a few mechanics that are already activated. Your dungeon might look slightly different, but otherwise just follow my directions and it shouldn't be a problem. So head straight and then to the right, and we're going to jump through the gap in the bars there, up the stairs and across the shifting platform. That was very ill-timed. Anyway, onwards, across the shifting platform, into this pillared arena, and then we're going to take a left and across the shifting platform again. And here I would usually go under the moving spikes and do my jump trick, but we don't have access to that at the moment. And we've got an easier way. So we're just going to warp strike across down to that far platform. So you just take a running jump and then warp strike. And you've skipped that whole pesky jump there. The next section here, you're going to have to jump across a few platforms. It can be a bit tricky with the items there because sometimes the game will want to pick up the items instead of jumping. So I'd recommend picking up the items before you attempt the jumps. Jump across these platforms here. They're not too tricky, but yeah. Here, because we got the warp strike, we don't have to play the guessing game. All you have to do is face into the far right corner, jump, and then warp strike, and we skip out that little jump there, which can be a bit tricky. Then we come up the platform. Up the top there'll be a narrow row of spikes that you have to run through. If you hit them, it's no big deal. You just port back here. So yeah, don't worry too much. Now the next section is where it could get quite tricky for you. So the other beauty of this exploit is the fact now that we can save. So jump across here, warp strike, turn around, and where we're going to have to get to is those blocks there. But it can be a bit tricky, so I recommend saving, which we couldn't do previously in this dungeon. So just come into your save and then make a backup save. Please don't save over your main file, because I don't know how this is going to affect your game, or the dungeon rather, so please use a file that's not really crucial. So once you have saved your game and you're confident in making the next jump, you're going to line yourself up with that bit of rubble there that you can see in the middle, and if done right, we're going to warp strike to it and kind of get stuck into it. Just like that. You can see there now we are stuck in the rubble. If you've got really low confidence, you can save your game once more, and that'll make this next jump even easier. So once you've saved or you're satisfied with your jumping skills, then jump to the next circle here, and you'll notice over there on your game you should have a lit up little platform. So jump to that one, and once you jump on that, you'll get a short cutscene of the gate down there opening. Then you just jump down, and it's just a matter of either warp striking over to that open gate or taking the platform here and jumping across. Then you're pretty much within reach of the Black Hood. Just jump across here and follow this narrow little ledge. Now there's quite a few items along here, but in the interest of time, I'm just going to run across, but feel free to pick them up. Then run and jump across here, and then head up the stairs. There's quite a few items on the stairs here. Elixirs, mega elixirs, marks of ascension. So yeah, pick all those up, and then you're at the final part of the dungeon. Hit the button here, ride the lift up, and this is the end of the dungeon. On your game, you should have a sparkling little light here, which is the Black Hood. Now, if you drop out of here, you'll come to the entrance and the outside of the dungeon. So yeah, that is it for the Black Hood run. If you wanted to go back into the dungeon and pick up some extra stuff, then by all means. But as far as items go, this is by far the most useful item in Pitioss. So there you go, guys. Pitioss Dungeon done cheap and nasty. I cannot take all credit, or really any credit, for this method. The idea came from a YouTube user named microkarl. He commented on one of my videos and gave me the inspiration or idea for it, and I simply followed the steps and put it into video format. So if this really helped you out, please leave a like. If you got any comments or suggestions or better ways to use this exploit to get the other items in the dungeon, then please leave them in the comments below. And if you like what I'm doing, please don't forget to subscribe. This has been Lemon Eating Cow. Moo.